Right, good evening, race fans, and welcome to Zandvoort. We are here on the brand new track, or rather, I shouldn't say brand new track. We're on the revised track that iRacing has produced. It's been remapped. It's all lovely. I didn't even realise I bought it until I clicked on it today and thought, oh, I must have bought this at some point. 23 degrees, it will be the track temperature. I am Pete Bingham, and I am in the booth with Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening, Sir Alan.
Oh, good evening, Peter, my friend. Good evening, folks. My pleasure to be here. Zandvoort. Love this place, and we've been rescanned, so I'm all shiny.
You are, and resplendent you are as well in that shininess.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is rounds 9 and 10 of the TCR Challenge Cup, season 14. 14 seasons been doing this now. This one's a bit of a lean one in terms of races, and tonight is actually there's still people joining. So I know there's some apologies. So we know that Fiona isn't here this evening. We know that forgotten Jason isn't here either. He's got real life commitments, but he's doing the rest of the season. I think Fiona said she was rejoining us at the beginning of November, so there's some time to go. But we've got 9 races tonight. It's gone up since I spoke to you last, Alan, as Miguel and Jamie Jeffrey have both joined us. So yes, we are going to have some thoroughly exciting racing here, even with the small grid, because we've proven it week after week. As Andrew Littler goes around the track, he's done quite a lot of laps in practice because I've watched most of it, and his lines are pretty good, you know. The only place he's having a bit of a struggle at the moment, if I can find my little map, is turn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is the downhill right hand sweeper.
Yes.
It is a challenge, let's face it, in any car. Rear wheel drives want to spin you around. Front wheel drives you just wash out into the scenery. So he was having a bit of trouble with that at speed, but otherwise he's had some good lines. Yeah.
It can really, like you say, can really wash you out there. But Andy's a much improved driver in the last few months. He's really come on in leaps and bounds. Everybody's noticed it, and all credit to the lad. And he tries hard, and he's worked hard at his driving. So nothing that he hasn't worked for and earned, and it's great to see.
No, he's doing really well actually. As somebody's goes a little bit wide there.
Yes, but you notice the grass, Pete. Now I've done some laps here, and of course it's had the upgraded grass, it's nowhere near the ice grass that it used to be around here. There's a bit of traction. If you get on the grass, it's not quite suicidal anymore.
Right, it used to be that it was probably better off if you drove on the grass because the grass was faster than the tarmac. Then they changed it so you could drive on it but you couldn't steer on it, and that killed a lot of people. Even Sam Blease is having a bit of trouble pointing the car in the right direction on some of these anti-camber turns. But now it's I've never. Do you know what? I've not driven on a track with the upgraded grass, so I'll have to try that one day soon.
Yes, you should go and give it a whirl because it's very different.
Yeah,
it comes with a bit of a shock. You know, when you go onto the grass and you can actually steer back onto the circuit instead of going around in a circle. Very nice.
Yeah. We're about to trip into going around in a circle. We're about to trip into qualifying, and that is it. But no Jason Landry, but we do have a wobbly kneecaps. He has joined us for one race. Clearly, his new best friends didn't want him tonight. So
very nice. Oh, well, I'm pleased to see. That's really great.
Yeah.
Big fan of Mr. Kneecaps. He's a great driver, and we saw Jamie. I just saw Jamie's name pop up as well, so that's great as well.
Yeah, no Jamie Wilson tonight. He's got an injury, a physical injury. So.
Oh, crikey! I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
Get well soon, Jamie.
I know it's one of those evenings where everybody's.
Well, we've got holidays, I think.
And we've got that. Yeah.
So yeah.
So we've got Carl. I've figured out his paint, so I've done that. On his behalf, so he's all resplendent in the lime
Happy
green.
wheels.
Yeah, happy wheels. Yeah. Andrew Littler's obviously here because we were watching him. Mark Draper is here. Let's talk about the
Ooh,
standings while they get around.
Crikey, he's flying. He's been flying, Mr. Draper.
He has, yeah. He's been doing very well. Right, let's talk about standings. That's not the right standings. This is the right standings. There we go. So, Miguel leads the way. David Johansson is not that far behind. We're not on the right-hand column yet, but if we were, he wouldn't be that far away. He's only 59 points behind on the left-hand column, which is what we are measuring everybody against up to this point. Third is Sam Blees on 468. So tonight he might be able to reduce some of that gap. Let's see what he can do. Again, if you go by the right-hand column, his worst week is better than David Johansson's worst week. So he's got 381 points over 364. So it's technically he could be in second place if that stayed. Jamie Wilson, not with us tonight, is in the fourth. Jason Landry, who's not with us tonight, is in fifth. You can see the points difference there. Carl Hardy will probably move up tonight. Quite a long way, I would think. He's currently in sixth. He stands a good chance of moving up. Fiona Siddons is in seventh, which is a brilliant point scoring exercise. Mark Draper is in eighth, so he's likely to leapfrog a few people, I would think. JB's here tonight. He's in ninth, and Austin Knight is not. Or not yet, anyway. They have been joining late, man. And that rounds out your top 10. Team standings wise, Impulse Racing are romping away, you might say, as on my other screen Mark Draper just went sideways into one of the corners.
Is that romping sideways?
It is romping sideways, yeah, absolutely. Hydro Race Geodesic, which is effectively just Sam Blees, is in second place. And or is that Matt Flannery as well? I think that's Matt Flannery as well, isn't it? Sim Racing Grid, which is just David Johansson, is in third, so he's doing fantastically well. Hydro Race Racing Forces, who are not with us anymore, in fourth. And Team Chimera, which is just Jamie Wilson, in fifth. Driver of the meeting is still led by David Johansson with 3 points. Sharing second place at the minute is Jason Landry, Mark Draper, JB, Jamie Jeffrey and Carl Hardy. In your Safe Driver Award, Sir Alan, the two guys that only did one race with us are still right at the top. Shame that they aren't coming back, to be honest. And then Fiona will be the first one, I expect, that will do 9 rounds or more in order to qualify. You have to do 9 rounds in order to win this title. Right. And Fiona is right up there on 0.01528 incidents per turn. Chased very heavily by Jamie Jeffrey, and that happened a few seasons, well, for the last few seasons. Jamie Jeffrey has been close on Fiona's heels. And then JB Dejoux showing some safe driving. Usually we
I know. So with great pace, you know what I mean? Yeah, these aren't shrinking pilots. JB and Jamie have both been well involved in a lot of racing, and it's really a heck of a street view that they're driving so clean.
Yep, absolutely right. And then a few others in the mix that could easily go up there. And you think about how fast Jason Landry drives, and look where he is. He's in 8th. He's turned more laps than anybody else in that top lot. He's just showing what caliber of driver he is.
Yeah.
So that
incredible pace, hasn't he?
Oh, just eye-watering. Yeah. Right then, back to this. We have a 15-minute qualifying session. Who's on the chat? There's some people on the chat. Yeah. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Mark was flying last night in the MX-5s.
Oh, right, okay.
He was absolutely flying. He's driving the wheels off the thing. At Bathurst this well, it wasn't an easy drive.
I saw you posted the results on Facebook, I think it was.
No, I think that was just the qualifying.
Oh, right, okay. Good grief.
Yeah.
So, yeah. This track will possibly favour Wobbly for 2 reasons. Wobbly is A, from the country of origin, and B, is driving the Honda, and I'm led to believe that the Honda this is very much a Honda track. Miguel
yeah.
also in a Honda.
Yes, I can see why people would think this would actually favour the Honda. There's not a lot of awful flat out, is there here?
Well, there's not a lot of top end either. You don't really
Yeah.
get to stretch the engine apart from the start finish straight.
So that's going to help because they're fairly agile.
Yes. Yeah, medium wheelbase car really, isn't it? So it's got a bit of both, but it doesn't have the top end that the other cars have got. Right, who's on the chat? We've got Shane Newport on the chat. Good evening, and he's cheering on for Jamie Jeffrey for Coupes and Convertibles Racing, or CCR as we used to know it. And David Ayres is on the chat as well, so good evening to David. He'll be happy to know that this coming weekend, along with the V8 race that we've got, I will be starting to set up season 15, which will have Pro and Am categories. So we look forward to welcoming David and anybody else who is attracted by the prospect of having the Pro and Am split in this league. If you're wondering how you can have a Pro and Am split with such few drivers, then trust me when I say this particular season we get one every year where the attendance is lower. It's easy to just pack your bags and disappear, but we're not going to do that because we know that the next season everybody comes piling back in and we end up with 20 to 30 car grids again. So you just got to enjoy these ones, don't you, Alan? It all comes round.
Where else would we be, Pete? You know, this is what we love to do.
Absolutely.
We love the cars. We love the drivers. This league means a lot to us. It means a lot to Backfire. And while there's two people out there to race, I guess we'll be here to show them racing.
Absolutely, and I might even, once I've completed the season creation, which does take me quite a long time, I might even open it up for registration, like way in advance. I've been a bit late to the party this season, particularly because we lost Bill Switzer, and there was a lot going on in the background around that. Very upsetting time for BSTV in general. So I'm thinking of being uber planned ahead for season 15. But as we have Wobbly, who is currently your provisional poleman. I'm going to jump on board with him and see exactly what he's doing with some of these corners. He is
very used to seeing that purple with his name, aren't we?
We are, yes, absolutely. Let me put a track map up so we can see where on the track he is.
That loopy bend.
I know, I love this corner. This is brilliant.
Look at the banking on it now.
No, it's lush. And then up and over that little hump, and then you're on the start-finish straight. Let's see if he does actually get into max rev territory. I don't think he is, you know. This Honda is still pulling. No, he's well out of it before the top revs. Turn 1 is very, very sharp. First gear corner in the Honda. As is turn 3. So you go through this little kink here, which is turn 2. And then you've got that one. And then this is the very sharp one I was thinking of, sorry. I don't know that that is a weird slingshot thing he's got going on there with the Honda. And then you go through this wonderful sweeping section up and over the brow of this hill that you can see on the horizon. Take loads of curb here, be really greedy with it. And then this is the one that Andrew and Sam were having a struggle with in practice. Very smoothly through that. Fourth gear through there. Yeah, don't go up a gear through here. Take curb here, but not too much. That one can punt you out wide. And then roll it round the outside of this because you're cutting in for quite a sharp turn here. Straighten the car up as soon as you can because you're turning the other way very, very soon. Again, sweeping wide entries into these corners. Bit of curb there, quite a lot of curb compared to what I usually take, but that's because I'm slow. Up through the gears here. Again, through a little S section coming up. Oh no, wrong part of the track. Yeah. Sorry. Oh no, this is the right part of the track. Through the bumps there. If you were a few seasons ago around this track, at that point that we've just been through, you would have heard this.
Please wait, mate, we're racing.
Because that is where, this is the track where that was first said by Russ Cowell. I don't even know that he's watching these races at the minute. But if he is, then good on you. David, and that's the end of the lap. David Ayres on the chat says, can you please not be Uber organised? This is not the standard we're used to. Very unnerving. I'll try my best to disappoint you, as I normally do. That is good though, I like that, it's funny. Miguel Freitas has literally just taken over fastest lap of the race. Pit lane entry becomes a feature in our second of tonight's heats, or rounds I should say. So the first round, for those of you watching for the first time, is a 20-minute race, sprint race.
He's flashing his lights, look.
I know, he's telling Wobbly, get out of the way, I'm the more important driver, and you can't argue with it really, can you? It's Miguel. It's Big Mig.
Yeah.
Let's see who else is on the track here. So everybody's on the track apart from Mark Draper at the moment, putting in lap times. But yeah, 20-minute sprint race to start, no pit stop required. Cars are on 35% fuel, that's more than enough to get them to the end of the first race. Then we've got a 5-minute interlude for people to practice their starts if they screwed it up the first time, and practice their pit lane entries. Then we go into a 40-minute, what we call a feature race, but we found that it's basically a 40-minute sprint race. And we have proven in the past that you can do it without stopping. Only Sam Blees has managed that in the past. As I say each race, we look forward to the next time somebody attempts it. There is Sam Blees. He's currently in third place behind the two Impulse cars. David Johansson, also super rapid, did very well in practice. Currently in fourth place, but looking to improve every single lap. Was that an improvement? That was an improvement that time round. No, it wasn't. Sorry, I was a bit too soon with that one. Dropped off a little bit of time. He's got time for one more lap. Whether he goes for it or not, I'm not sure. But this is heat racing, so you get chinned out pretty quickly. Carl Hardy, I'd say, not struggling so much, but he's in seventh currently. Looking at the drivers ahead of him, that's probably his place at the minute, would you say?
I would think he looks about a second slow to me at 45. Right. I would have thought he was more like a 40, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We don't know about the conditions out there, and certainly Carl won't have driven this track. I wonder how many of these drivers have since the rescan.
Yeah, and it wasn't that long ago that this was released, was it, really?
No,
it's one of the latest.
I think it could be new to a lot of the guys out there, this iteration.
And here's JB, who's improved massively in recent seasons. He's moved up from one category of racer to the next, hasn't he?
Yes.
Now very much that mid-pack, and even just outside the top five. I know what you're going to say, folks. You're going to say there's only 9 cars in the race. Everybody's nearly in the top 5, but in other seasons where we've had much bigger fields, he's been now creeping around that area, hasn't he?
Yes, he's confirmed midfield, and he used to be a last third man and consistent there, and a good driver to be there, to be honest, in this field.
Yep.
But he's just consistently improved, hasn't he? His racecraft's improved, his skill and speed, everything's come on. I mean, the guy works hard, and he's a lovely man, and great to have him in the league.
Yeah, very much so, and he's practicing his pit stop now. Because it is quite a dramatic entry. You're going at a rapid rate into that pit lane. Andrew's just pulled over to the side. Nobody else is going to bother now because no point in starting a lap in a heat racing qualifying, because it won't let you finish it anyway. So the order you see there, which will go official in a few seconds, is how we're going to start. So strap yourselves in. We're getting ready to race. Right then, so to make that official, Miguel Freitas is your poleman for round 9 here at Zandvoort for Impulse Racing. His sister teammate for Impulse, Wobbly Kneecaps, goes off second. Sam Blees goes off third for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. David Johansson off fourth for Sim Racing Grid. Jamie Jeffrey will go off 5th for Coupes and Convertibles Racing. Mark Draper goes off 6th for SRL. 7th will be Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result. 8th will be JB Dejoux for BSTV Sports Blue. And rounding out the grid, Andrew Littler for Spiro by Result. I think this is going to be a good one because we've still, even though we've got a small grid, we've got some very, very fast, very, very capable racers. I think this one's going to be a little bit tasty, Alan.
Oh, there's no reason to hold back, and this track will feed that desire to race.
Definitely.
It's a great, sweeping, beautiful drive.
And we've got David Johansson just joined the grid, actually. Sam Blees and Wobbly Kneecaps keeping everybody else waiting. They are now all on the grid. It'll be interesting to see how they start. Here come the lights. 3, 2, 1. Kept them for just a second and then let them go.
Need a good start. Everybody needs a good start.
They do. Sam Blees was having a good look on the outside of Wobbly there, but I think that's only going to favour David Johansson as Miguel sets off down the road. Those two Hondas are away already because these two are fighting.
I think these early corners are very important.
Yeah, Mark Draper.
Oh,
whoa, look at Jamie Jeffrey go. Good grief.
Wobbly, was that Wobbly on the grass? Well, yeah, slightly, but it doesn't cost him anything.
Yeah. Miguel already with about 6 car lengths over Wobbly.
Well, Wobbly had that wheel on the grass. It did cost him a couple of car lengths, but, you know, it's probably lucky for David because they were off a shovel.
Yes. Oh, Jamie Jeffrey with very, very dodgy internet at the minute. And Wobbly's car just decided to relocate itself, so maybe it's my internet, not theirs. We'll see in a minute. Wobbly's cut that lead down a little bit now, so that might be a bit tasty soon. Jamie Jeffrey under a bit of pressure here from Sam Blees. This is the view from the nose of Sam's car over these quite dramatic curves, actually. That one on the left there, it feels glorious. You get your tyre just in the right place on it, and your car feels like it's absolutely on rails going through there.
Oh, this section is very beautiful. I'm very fond of this circuit, and I was pleased with that when they rescanned it, and you know the big rebuild that's happened. They haven't changed the character of the players. They haven't lost any of the character and the charm that it always had. So I'm pleased about that, because yeah, very fond of this circuit. It's a great place to drive a car around.
Yeah, somebody's piling the pressure on to the back of Jamie Jeffrey at the minute. I thought he was going to make a dive for the inside. Jamie Jeffrey's got that outside line hooked up. That's how he got that position.
It's hard to make a pass though, you know. You've got to accumulate the pace, haven't you?
Yeah, but look at the slingshot he got. He's got like 2 or 3 car lengths, well 2 now, over Sam Blees. Just in the one corner, the approach to that corner from him was excellent. Was that Mark Draper a little bit wide behind and now a victim to Carl, potentially?
Still cold tyres, Pete, I reckon, don't you?
Yes.
We just, you know, it's not a massively long lap, and they seem to be going a bit sideways.
They do.
Starting to get stretched out a bit now.
Oh, hang on, what's going on ahead? Sam Blees trying to get down the inside here, but he's going to be on the outside for the corner that matters.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was Sam Blees, lost it. He's going to pull over here and let Jamie Jeffrey go through, but in doing so, he's having to let nearly the whole field go. Back to pace now.
He's a gentleman, and he'll feel that he's done the right thing. And that was, I mean, it's totally accidental. There was nothing intentional about any of that. He just lost the car just at the wrong moment, didn't he?
He did. Mark Draper now getting a bit out of shape here, and JB's going to put a position on him, possibly or not. He's going to come across the front of JB's car.
Oh, this is good driving.
It is.
That's a tricky corner. They made that look easy, didn't they?
They did. And just behind, it's a bit tasty with these two again. Sam Blees, he's wriggling, isn't it? He's wriggling. That car is arguing with him quite a lot.
I wonder what kind of a setup he's got in there. He's been using those Leary setup, hasn't he? He did say he was using a very loose setup, so I wonder if he's just having a bit of a fight with his car.
Possible. Probable, in fact. And unusual to see, obviously, Sam Blease and Jamie Jeffrey so far down the field, but that was because Sam lost his car going into a corner, as we saw a moment ago. A bit racy ahead of these two.
It does look like it's a bit loose, doesn't it? When you look at his car, the way he's getting around, it's a bit ginger going around the corners.
Oh, look at JB! Look at JB! This is good. Let's get her.
That was tight.
It was. He couldn't have got anything in there. Rizzle paper would have been too thick.
Oh, brilliant driving, guys. Well done.
Yeah,
Goodness,
that was.
This is good.
Given the fact that the distance geographically between these two, I know Mark Draper's in Hartlepool in the UK and JB's in the United States. But they had a lot of faith in their bandwidth and ping just then.
And justifiable faith.
Very much so, yeah. I suppose we have to have a look at who's at the front. So Miguel is up here with a 2.8 second lead over Wobbly.
In the 43.7s as well now.
Yeah, he's 0.3 faster than Wobbly at the minute. David Johansson, not really that far behind Wobbly. He's going to give him a proper race. 1.4 seconds behind, and that velocity.
He's doing well. He's doing very well.
We won't do it out there though. That's wide.
Well, it just shows you how hard he's trying and how hard he's having to push to stay up with Wobbly. You know, it just shows you because they do make it look easy. These chaps, they tend to throw perfect lines, and you know they seem to have it under control and. That just shows you how hard they're on to work and just how close to the limit they are.
And I think you're absolutely on the money, Alan. That car of Sam Blease looks really wild. He's doing it because he's such a good driver, but it looks like he's put it on the ragged edge of whatever the setup is.
Yes, it definitely looks a bit precarious to me, would
Yeah.
Sam knows his way around the setup.
Yes, he does.
I've got faith with the man.
Me too. I mean, it might be just a struggling Elantra track, because if you look at it, we've got Honda, then we've got Veloster, and then we've got the two Hondas, the two Elantras. So maybe this just isn't a track for the Elantra.
Yes,
sorry, three Elantras. My apologies.
That's. But yeah, you say that, but I don't see the same handling characteristics with JB and Jamie.
Very good point. Yeah. And we should not forget Mr. Littler, who's still putting in good lap times.
You know, he's doing very well.
Yep.
And
very nice.
Yeah, he'll be enjoying the drive anyway, because he knew what it was going to be tonight, but he still turned up to show face and enjoy the track.
Yep, absolutely. Round we go again with these guys. This is a bit of a mob, this 5-car train here. Let's put the track map up and you can see where everybody is.
Well, it's fine driving to keep together as a 5-car group, to be honest. They could easily get spread out, but it just shows you that the differential in pace between these cars is so small. That, you know, the qualifying laps don't tell everybody. Oh, goodness, he's trying to get in his boot.
He is trying to steal the shopping, isn't he? But yeah, he was trying to speed JB up round that corner, I think.
So now Wobbly's done a 43, low 43, is in the 3s, so...
Yes.
Crikey, he's chasing hard.
That's significantly faster than any other lap we've seen.
Yes.
In a race situation, obviously. Ooh, what's going on here?
Well, they're not holding back, and it was only 2.5 wide.
Yeah, only. We're going to have a look at that again in a second. David Johansson's been off track for a little excursion. Nothing too dramatic. He's lost a bit of time to Wobbly, though, as a result. But like you say, those impulse guys, they're so quick, it forces people to take the car to the very, very limit, and it's going to give at some point.
Well, that's how you find out where your limit is, don't you?
Well, absolutely, yeah.
When you find yourself on the wrong side of it,
yeah.
briefly. and just hope it's not a disaster. And how can it be?
Here we go again. So this is Jamie Jeffrey.
This is great. Well, this is fine driving by the pair of them, but I'm delighted to see JB racing hard in this company.
He's going to... Oh, I was going to say he's going to keep this, but he was on the brakes just a touch earlier. But that might be in his favour. Look at this.
Look at this, is wonderful.
Oh, he's on the brakes very early for this sequence here. And that's what gave the position away, really.
But there's that, is that the real world driving experience of Jamie?
Yes. He's probably
He
aware
was late,
that...
wasn't he? He was late.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that. They're getting cosy.
Certainly are. There's nothing between them again. So, looking a little further forward to these three now, because Samblees has bridged the gap already. So maybe it's nothing to do with the Lantra versus Veloster versus...
Well, you'd expect Sam to be his car, if he has got something that requires time to settle down. You'd hope his car would settle down.
Yeah, multiple champion, obviously.
And you would expect him to be able to bridge the gaps.
Yes. Carl Hardy will start to come under a bit of pressure now because Mark Draper's last lap was very good. But no, actually, Carl Hardy's last lap was better. So they're about even, these two, at the moment.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's absolutely nothing in it.
That wide line that I thought Wobbly had taken incorrectly, really, when we were on board with him before, is the line that everybody's taken. That must be the optimal route round that wonderful left-hand.
Well, I think it's the easy one, Pete, to be honest.
Right.
It's because the car's thrown out to the right-hand side of the track.
Yes. Yeah.
So, if you get... There's a bit of centrifuge involved if you get on the wide line.
Mm.
But, yes. So I've always found that it's... The car wants to go there anyway, so I just give in gracefully.
Give in gracefully, that's class. Right, so David Johansson, you'll notice, has got quite a lot of free space in front of him. Time for thinking. There is no Honda in front of him on any of these screens at the minute. There's the Honda there of Wobbly disappearing around that corner. He's got himself a 6-second gap. It's a lot less if we jump to Wobbly's car, to Miguel, so you can still see him. He's turning almost identical laps right now. Let's have a look and see if Wobbly's closed in. He has. He's shaved another 1.5 tenths out of Miguel's lead there.
Wow, that takes some doing.
It does take... Oh, actually, we're just missing some action back here. Apologies, folks. So, something happened there with Mark Draper. Right, let's have a look at this a minute.
Oh, what? And JB's got dropped off a little bit.
Yeah, so Mark Draper's already dropped away from Carl at this point. He's defending his line.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh, he's got to slow down. Right, that explains that. There's no other reason that Mark Draper would be so slow in a straight line.
Has he lost the place to JB then?
He's not. He did sacrifice one position. Oh my God, what a time to rejoin.
Oh,
There's
dear.
JB. So that needs an autopsy. And we're going to have a look at it immediately.
Oopsie.
Oopsie indeed. Mark got a bit of a kick there, but that's not...
Oh, he's on the brakes. They're on the brakes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
looks
touching.
okay.
A little bit of touching. A little bit of touching.
Oh.
And for me, I'd probably say that was Mark Draper moving too far left, because I think Jamie Jeffrey was pretty much out of room. Let's have another little look. So they go right round this bend.
Who's owning the tarmac here?
So when they go to the left-hand side of the track here, I don't think Jamie's got any more track to go to.
Nope.
So I would suggest that was Mark's. That was on Mark, that one this time. Right, let's go back to live racing.
Maybe he was struggling to hold his line a little bit because it was bit of centrifuge involved in that one.
There was. Hopefully they'll both get back out after their fast repairs. Well, they'll have to tow because there wasn't many wheels left on those wagons, was there?
Not really.
No. It'll take
When they
more
did
than a
it-
bit of T-cut and gaffer tape to get those back.
No, it'll be an horrible diet and brown paper job, Pete.
Yeah. Good old Harold, but yeah, they'll get a free repair in this league, so they should come out pretty quickly.
After they've finished with the hatchets and the bits.
Absolutely. And because of where the size of the grid, there's good points on offer here as well.
Well,
just for coming
Carl's
out.
not getting in. He's trying to show his rear bumper to Sam and say you're not coming past. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long I'm able to keep it up. But good on you. Come on. Tom likes a challenge. He likes to fight.
Yeah,
he doesn't
he
like
does.
to be have places given. He likes to have to earn them. He's a proper racer to the core of his being. But the one in front of him is as well.
Oh,
And,
Carl, too much grass.
Ah.
Oh no, he's keeping this though.
I thought he was going to lose it there.
I did. I thought you said the grass was slow.
No, it gives you grip.
It gives you grip.
Yes, it gives you grip. It's astonishing.
Right.
Yeah, the ice grass is suddenly traction grass. It's most peculiar.
And here comes Sam Blees.
Oh,
Little touch. Rubbin's racing. Oh, that
Just
nearly was
saying,
a bit more
give
than
me
Rubbin.
room, boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's
Well, there you go. That's classy, but
Cool.
Carl's not going to give up.
he's not, and he shouldn't.
No, absolutely not. No,
It's a
this
nice
is what it's here
line.
for.
Yeah, nice
To
line
scare
from
the
Carl.
pants off geodesic racers.
Yeah. Oh, how the tables have turned. Mark Draper is still in the pits, and I don't know why. Let's have a quick look. He's not on any jacks or anything. No, don't know why that's happening, because Jamie Jeffrey's back out on track. We'll find out what's going on there in a minute. Andrew Littler finds himself in 7th place.
Ooh. Oh, cracky. That's it, good.
Yeah, that's the turn he was getting sideways round earlier, so he needs to just approach it probably a little bit slower. It sounds counterproductive, but slow in, fast out generally is the way to go.
Yes. It's a hard lesson to learn, though, Pete.
It is.
It really
It
is.
doesn't feel right at first, does it? And then all of a sudden,
No.
everything hooks up, and you suddenly gained a second on a lap, and you're like, what the hell?
I'm looking forward to the day that happens. Hello, what's he doing? He's got that purple going again.
He has, yes, Miguel. What a lap. A 143.1, is that 8? No, 194. Starting to react to Wobbly, because Wobbly's been putting in some
Sky to read it. There we
blister.
are. 194. Cracky. He's getting very close to a 42.
Isn't he just? Look at the amount of curb he takes going through there.
Ooh. Clearly knows his way around here.
Oh yeah, big time.
Look at that. He's. I should be spotting his line really. This is good stuff.
I know.
So
Let's go on.
incredibly consistent.
Yeah, let's go on board and just see what's going on here. We're not far from the end. I think they'll probably pick up white flag this time round.
He
Where
never
are
misses
they?
an apex, as far as I can tell. I don't think
No.
I've ever seen him miss an apex. It's,
I think they're probably just going to get over the line. I might be very, very wrong, of course. We've lost the track map because this must be one of the ones that SDK doesn't like.
this is how somebody like Miguel shows you just how there's no secrets to driving.
No,
There's
not.
nothing hidden about how you go fast around the circuit because all these guys are showing you. It's just that
There we go.
relentless,
White
perfect
flag.
placement. Beautifully on the apex every single time.
Mm.
Perfectly judged braking. And that's all you've got to do. There's no cards up the sleeve or anything. All you've got to do is drive these lines, just like Miguel's doing here. Just drive these lines and keep driving those lines, lap after lap, and Bob's your uncle.
Yep. Wobbly's just done his fastest lap, and he must be thinking, what the hell do I need to do? Because Miguel's is another 2/10 faster than that. Just stunning pace, really.
But they've all taken generous... The usual thing with these top drivers, they all know exactly how much track they can pinch and just whereabouts they can pinch it every time.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a sixth sense they've got, or something, but they always seem to know just how much track you can pinch and just where the best spots are to do it. It's amazing.
It is, and some of the really, really fast drivers will use all of their incident point limit in their races in order to gain, as many tenths on individual laps as possible. They'll use it as a sacrificial resource, which is what Gary Craig used to say to me.
Yes.
That's how they race, and it's true of the real world as well. As Miguel Freitas takes the win for round 9.
Wow.
Congratulations to him and his sister teammate, Wobbly Kneecaps, wobbles his way across the line to take second place. David Johansson not that far behind in the end. Gets a well-earned third place. Some good, tough racing at the start.
Fine
there.
drive by David.
Very fine, very fine. Sam Blees over the line as well, with Carl in close company.
Well, David shows you how well he was driving to keep Sam in fourth.
JB over the line.
I do think Sam was struggling a bit earlier on with his setting.
I do as well. It was like he couldn't get the tyres to temperature. The car was like snapping all over the place on him. I wonder if there's anything he can do in the cool down.
But yes, and of course, incredible performance by Impulse again.
Oh yeah, it's resplendent, isn't it? This is one half of the crash. Jamie Jeffrey. I wonder why his windscreen banner doesn't ever seem to work. I'm gonna have to have a look at that. It's invariably something I've not done. And Mark Draper never left the pits. Maybe he thought, I'm not getting out ahead, so I'm going to be last anyway. You just don't know, do you?
No.
So hopefully he joins us again for the second race. As Jamie Jeffrey, 8th place, decent points.
Yes, and well done coming out, finishing the race. Good man.
So,
He knew it was going to be lonely at the end there, but we like that. We like people.
Let's go and find a
So
camera.
that's only points by finishing a race.
Yeah. Right then, so Miguel Freitas, it's official, won round 9 here at Zandvoort Grand Prix for season 14 of the TCR Challenge Cup with BSTV. For Impulse Racing, his sister teammate Wobbly Kneecaps finished second for Impulse. David Johansson was third and rounds out the podium for Sim Racing Grid. Sam Blees finished fourth for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Fifth was Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result. JB Dejoux finished sixth for BSTV Sports Blue, with Andrew Littler in seventh for Spyro by Result. Jamie Jeffrey finished eighth for Coupes and Convertibles Racing. And Mark Draper finished ninth. He didn't rejoin. I don't think he saw any need to. And rounds out the field. Mark Draper's back on the track, which is a healthy sign. It means he's going to do the second race. I think I'm right with my assessment of why he didn't rejoin in the first one. I think he'll have seen Jamie disappear out of the pits and thought, I'm never catching that. So
he's a very shrewd racer, he's Mark.
He is. He's a thinker.
And really showing some great form as well at the moment.
Yeah. It's great to have him back in the league, actually. And if we do Pro-Am next season, we'll have to find a way in order to get that distinction between pro and am. A lot of places use iRating. I think we'll probably do the same, but at the end of seasons we'll do a promotion from am to pro, and use people's prior performance, because I don't know about you, Alan, but iRating, it's only indicative. I've seen people with 1K iRating winning races by like 8 seconds.
Yeah. iRating doesn't tell the tale, Pete, because particularly with people like me who just drive in leagues all the time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, if you don't drive officials, you don't know what someone. If they don't drive officials, you don't know what their true current pace is, do you? There's no way to know it.
No, because there's a lot of these guys that there's plenty of people out there with 2,000 and iRating that would probably have 4,000 or 5,000 if they did more official races, but they spend 90% of their time in leagues.
Yes. Yeah.
Because that's where the best racing is.
Absolutely.
It's a thing, isn't it? It's a catch-22 that the best drivers always gravitate to the leagues, and of course, because of that, then they don't score very many iRacing points.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you want to get a lot of iRacing points and do league racing, you've got to be a busy boy.
Yep. Very much so. And I used to do it. I'm not very good, of course, but it is a massive investment of time and effort. As we watched a full pit stop there from David Johansen, and it looked clean, it looked very professional. This pit stop in the feature race has been pretty critical on a number of occasions in many seasons now, and it's a really nice feature for us to have.
Oh, yeah, crikey. You just never know what's going to happen. And we've seen major reverses, we've seen surprises, we've seen shock turnarounds, the lot, haven't we? We've had it all.
Yeah, it's been a good feature to include in the series. Mark Draper, the only one so far. Oh no, Sam Blease has just decided he is also going to do a practice pit stop. Or has he just joined the pit lane? I don't know. But we're not going to be far now away from race conditions. Yeah, we're only 20 seconds away. This 5-minute interlude doesn't last long.
Well, it's just time for me to make a nice start on my single malt, Pete.
Oh, yeah, definitely do that. It would be rude not to.
Yes.
Right.
Well, yeah.
Which one are you on?
Oh, well, we're Tabnavulin, my friend.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yes.
Look how rapid they attack this pit road. That's why it's a challenge. It's not.
Well, it's all right for them.
Yeah.
They don't seem to get the black flags that I do when I do that.
No, I think it's prejudiced.
I get them when I come in, and I get them when I leave as well. I get them on both ends. I got one last night. Do you know what they said in Discord? They said, "Oh, that's not like you, Alan, getting a black flag in the pits, is it?" Oh, they've taken the piss. Something shocking.
Love it.
Right, and me, an old man as well.
Right, so here we are, folks. We are on a reverse grid, so I'm just going to do the names very quickly. Mark Draper will lead us away. Jamie Jeffrey will go off second on the front row. Andrew Littler off third. JB off fourth. Carl Hardy fifth. Sam Blease will be sixth. Seventh will be David Johansen. Eighth will be Wobbly. Miguel will go off ninth, and Wobbly will go off. Wobbly will go off eighth, and Miguel will go off ninth. Good grief! Don't know what I'm saying anymore. Right, where's Mark Draper? There he is. He's our
and he's third. Well, this is very exciting. I hope we get a good start here, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we're on lights already, and we're green already. A bit of smoke there from Andrew's car.
Well, he's under pressure to make a good start. He's right in the middle of things. He knows he's in the thick of it. It's exciting stuff.
It really is.
To make a good start.
Well, there's overtakes further back behind Andrew Littler already.
Oh, this is beautiful. That's it. Everybody pulled away beautifully.
They did. They're all getting in a line now. Wobbly is making a nuisance of himself to Carl Hardy, which is exactly what you do in these races. Get to the front as soon as you can. Sam Blees is just leaving his way past Andrew Littler, and David Janssen has followed him, and Wobbly's not waiting either. As they come down the hill here into this sweeping right-hander. Oh, there's a bit of bit of contact there between Andrew Littler and Wobbly. Wobbly around the front of JB's nose there. Wobbly down the inside of Andrew Littler. Nice overtake, nice and clean. Right then, and we're away. So, away to the... Ooh, that's a lot of grass. That is a lot of grass.
Yes, they all followed Andy onto the grass and for a little plough through the sand there.
Yeah.
Bit of excitement.
Definitely.
But that raised the old pulse for a second there, chaps.
Yeah. JB finds himself at the back at the minute.
Yeah, it's great. This stuff, he says, hear him, scare him, the first lap. Goodness me.
It's a hectic bit of racing. JB's sticking with Miguel at the minute and should get a decent tow down
well,
the
that's
start
a good place to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you can hang on to Miguel's wheel, goodness me, that would be very tasty.
And these reverse grids are so fascinating at the minute. We've
Oh,
not had
I
a
love
single tedious race. It's been absolutely hell for leather every time.
I'm not normally a big fan of them when I'm racing because, you know, it puts me right at the front of races so often. And, yeah, it's scary. But I love to watch them.
Yeah, Miguel trying a block pass. Andrew Littler, and Andrew Littler not having a bar of it.
And he won't. He will fight fairly. But these days he won't let people by unless they've got to work for it. He's had a revelation.
Smoke ahead, and that is Mark Draper, I think. We're going to watch that again. We've been fascinated.
I hope he's okay. He's not having a lucky night so far. I hope he's all right out there.
Yeah. Miguel trying to do the outside line on Andrew Littler again there. Didn't work. Andy Littler's got some decent lines in him. I did say that before the race started.
Yeah. Now he's doing really well. He's doing his absolutely best. I wouldn't do this with him. Do you know what I mean? I would just let him go but Andy's got a bee in his bonnet about driving hard.
Yeah.
Good on him. Good on him.
I mean, he's staying ahead of literally the best, the current champion.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
series leader at the moment. It is absolutely fascinating. This, I think we've missed a few other overtakes.
This is David and Goliath, you know. This is definitely David and Goliath stuff, and it's yeah. Well, it's great. It's great that Miguel is doing this, and it's great that Andy's able to. I'm loving it.
What will happen here? So this is quite a heavy braking zone into a very tight right-hand turn.
Look how he loads his line. Try to hold his line.
Why? Who put a roof there? Why? Okay, here we go. Through these little S's. Oh, maybe. No, I don't think they did touch. Oh, and then.
There might be. Oh.
Well, what a fantastic bit of racing from those guys. Right,
great dicing.
We've got a bunch of stuff to look at now, which we've not looked at yet.
Andy will have his mouth, heart in his mouth there.
I bet he enjoyed it though, because that looked good fun. Oh wow!
That's what happened to Mark.
Yeah, over rotated. Didn't hit anything back on and racing. So okay.
That's classic front wheel drive thing, though, isn't it?
It is. In fact, that was the only thing that happened. All the other overtakes was people on Mark Draper and the Andrew Littler Miguel JB battle. So eyes move towards the front of the field now. So Wobbly behind David Johansson, who is fast, behind Sam Blees, who is very fast, behind Jamie Jeffrey, who we've seen before, can light up a track and disappear, and people struggle to catch him.
Well, when he gets this situation, you know, he always makes his best fist of it, doesn't he? He's an experienced racer, and he knows that these opportunities don't come that often, especially in this league.
No.
You don't get the chance to drive away very often. These guys are so quick off the start. And yeah, he's out there in front, and he's got every right to enjoy it to the absolute max. And yeah, he's doing really great laps. He's very competitive lapping, you know, he's right on the money with his times.
Carl Hardy's found himself in a bit of no man's land, 3 seconds in front of him and 2 seconds behind him. He's going to get some friends pretty soon, because that's Miguel.
Miguel, yeah. I'm not sure whether Carl won't see Miguel getting looming in his mirror large,
No.
but then, you know, he will get the chance of a bit of toe off Miguel, because he could well close the race up. There's plenty of time left for Carl to get towed back into, because, you know, that is a gap, but it's not a huge gap, especially if you've got a car like Miguel to tailgate.
Yep, and Wobbly tried a move there on David Johansson. But we've seen how wily David can be, and he was having none of that.
No, and he's got the pace to back it up as well.
He has, yeah, definitely. They've both dropped off Sam a bit. You can see in the background there, Miguel. I mean, his last lap time was a bit slower than Carl's, but this lap he's put his foot right down. Lead gap is slowly creeping down, but the last lap Jamie Jeffrey pulled away.
Well, you know, David could do Jamie a big favour by starting to irritate Sam a bit.
Miguel Freitas, fastest lap 1:43.7. This early in the race, that's pretty impressive. He's 1.5 seconds a lap faster than Carl Hardy ahead of him.
Reef.
He's already nearly on him. Look how wide and high they go on that turn now. That never used to be the case on that turn, I'm pretty sure. Either that or I was just doing it wrong every single lap I've ever done.
Nobody wanted to tell you, Pete.
No, I know. Because they're all scared of my pace.
Yes. Well, you know, quite right as well. Quite right.
So whoever... Is that... Yeah, Demon. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you're watching. He said, this is epic. Honestly, this is what these races are like. Mark Draper.
So, Mark, yes. So...
He's caught the field again after...
Well, this is great for Andy, because...
somebody else to race.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Who else can I be a thorn in the side of?
Yeah. And enjoy it as we go. So yeah, that one's on. Miguel is now very on the back of Carl Hardy, and the 3 cars at the front are close. Oh no, Jamie Jeffrey. I shouldn't say it like that, but Jamie Jeffrey's pulling away constantly now. Actually, he's doing a great.
Go on, Jamie.
There goes Miguel on the inside. Carl's let him have that.
Yes. Come on, Carl. You see, straight in.
Yeah, straight into the toe.
That's what I would do as well, so obviously it's a smart move.
David Ayres on the chat. Tell Mr. Freitas to stop scratching that result paintwork. That's class. And back here, Mark Draper still not managed to do anything about Andrew Littler. David Johansson, it says, has been off track now. SDK does some funny things with what it thinks is an off track, so we'll have a look at this. But I think it'll be an innocuous nothing. Is it a grass on the outside of this turn? Because he's done that a few times.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not really very much. All it's going to do is move Wobbly onto the rear of his car a bit more.
Well, yes, we've seen him do that before, so he's clearly not concerned about it. Otherwise, he would have altered his line.
Yeah, I missed a message, actually, from David Ayres. I think a mention to our fellow iRacer on becoming BTCC champion for a 4th time might be in order. Yeah, Ash Sutton. Well done.
Yeah, superb. And, yeah, Ash is great. And we saw him at Donington recently. It's great to see. Fantastic sim racer.
Yeah.
Doing so well. In you know, when he has to go and drive in the real world to make a crust, I understand that, but he's never left his sim people
No.
behind.
No, he hasn't, and you've got to salute that, really. See, it would be easy to do it, but he just likes racing so much. As Wobbly Kneecaps has decided, is this lap 6 by any chance?
Lap 7. It's
7?
calling on the
Right, 7.
thing.
We usually see Sam Blees in on lap 6. Maybe he's changing his race strategy. Look how fast they look like they're going down that straight. It's just excellent. Love this track.
This track will like, with the banking, it will like these more powerful cars. I've only been in the MX-5, and I don't think they can take advantage of the changes in the way that these more powerful front engine cars can do with the banking, everything.
Yeah. I mean, these two have taken a shallow line through that corner, which is what I would normally do, but the fast guys have evidenced that is not the optimal line. The optimal line is go high on the banking and kind of slingshot your way around the corner. Right, so where are we at in terms of the front? Jamie Jeffrey. Hats off to you. You are slowly
He's doing
pulling,
great, isn't he?
Yeah, about a tenth a lap on the rest of the field so far. Sam Blees in the distance there with David Johansson for company. Wobbly has peeled off to the pits, obviously. So the next car in line is Miguel, who's pulled himself already nearly 2 seconds on Carl Hardy. Shows how rapid he is.
It just shows you, because Carl is a very good driver now, and he would have been trying hard to keep up with Miguel, but futile.
Yeah.
But now he's got the race to win. He's gonna. I can see him driving past everybody. How long has he got? He's got time.
he does, yeah. We're just over a quarter of the way through the race. It feels like we've had an entire race already in this one. As David Johansson finds pit road. So he's trying to cover off whatever Wobbly's doing. So you can see Mr. Draper and Mr. Littler making their way down pit road right now. David Johansson is rolling, and there's Wobbly in the background. Now, this pit lane exit is quite a long exit, to be fair. I think these two are going to be about side by side once Wobbly gets his speed on. No, David Johansson's done a brilliant job there. Well done, David Johansson.
Rice is still tasty. This is very tasty.
Yeah.
Miguel's putting in the fastest laps.
That's just the behaviour of his car. You want to describe it as out of control, but it's not. It's absolutely on rails everywhere he sends it.
I tell you, just no secrets about how to be a fast driver. Just see what Miguel does and go and do it. I try, and I'm remarkably unsuccessful at imitating what he does.
Yeah, I'm the same, but I consider myself completely unteachable. So I just do it because I enjoy it.
Unassailable lack of talent.
Yes, exactly that. No discernible talent. I'm sure that was on a school report at some point.
Well, this is great for Andy. He's really battling hard here, and he's giving Mr. Draper plenty to think about.
He is. And he's a bit wide at that point.
Sunday, well, he's under pressure.
He is. Sam Blees has now entered pit road. He's getting some... Oh, and who's that in the background behind him? Mark Draper, actually. He's peeled off from behind Andrew Littler. We know Andrew Littler prefers the tactic of run it long.
Yes, I think that's the smart move by Mark, because honestly, I think he couldn't get by easily.
Well, we saw Miguel have struggles. Andrew Littler held some good lines in front of Miguel and made him work for it.
Yes, well, this track, it's not the widest arena. If you can hold that line and just gently edge it, then you can make your car very wide around here.
Yeah.
It's not that plentiful with lines, is it?
No, definitely not. We've got Jamie Jeffrey now, who has what we can consider to be massive lead, 4.7 seconds at the minute over Miguel Freitas. Obviously, they owe us pit stops. Carl Hardy finds himself in third place. Again, owing us pit stops. JB next in line. And then Andrew Littler is a bit further back. I think he's just had a lap put on him by Sam Blees as he came out the pits. And then you can see this battle between David and Wobbly. Not yet getting tasty, but I expect it will do. Neither of these two are car drivers that are just going to sit there and let it happen around them. They're going to take it to the field, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. But yes, there's not a lot in to split them on pace, is there? That's the thing, and not a lot in skill either, and race canny. So it's looking forward to this because it will be a scrap when they've got a bit of track, and let's see what happens. But yeah.
Ooh. Oh, Andrew.
Andy's trying to give him a bit of space, I think.
Oh, no. And that's...
What?
Actually, that could have been a lot worse.
Pirouette.
Yeah.
Oh, that was beautiful. Ballerina.
I don't think Wobbly thought so, and I think his car is broke.
Oh, no.
So I don't know whether he's going to join us in the booth.
Oh, no, not his car.
It was something of a send, but it was a controlled one. Oh, I can't see anything.
He must have been on. I didn't think he had a hit, really.
Let's have another look at it from a better camera. Is this any better? Let's see.
He didn't seem to have a big hit, did he?
It was Andrew, I think, that came across the track into Wobbly there. He seemed to move away from the grass.
Did he whack that Elmco?
I think his left front is no good.
Nah, he must have whacked it.
Yeah.
I thought he'd have missed it. Damn.
Yeah. So that might have stolen a tasty bit of racing away from us towards the end of the race.
Well, let's hope he can get back in because it'd be great if he could.
Not normally his style, but we'll see. Usually once he's...
But he hasn't quit.
That way.
He's still in the pit.
Still there.
So he's waiting while his toe comes through. Has he got another quick repair?
He will have a quick repair once he's towed round the track. Simulated, obviously.
He's got some very efficient mechanics. He feeds them electricity for breakfast.
They're not as good as mine. Mine have got many years of repairing cars under their belts.
Oh, yes. They do get a lot of practice, Pete. That's true.
They do, yeah.
At least it keeps them busy. Your mechanics are never going to die of boredom.
No, they may die of exhaustion, but never boredom.
Yes. And malnutrition, of course, because you don't ever pay them.
This is true. You got to win races to get money. So, David Johansson trying to get back on terms with Sam Blees. They were a bit closer earlier. We know that David is mega quick, so I would expect that gap to reduce.
Well, you know very well that Sam is aware of that as well, and he will be trying very hard to make sure that gap increases.
Yes.
And look at the times with a tenth between them. Mm-hmm. Whatever way that battle is resolved, it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
And there's never going to be a lot in it, is there?
No, there's not. And the gap for the lead is dropping steadily now that Miguel.
Well, I thought by lap 15. I thought by lap 15 he might have it. So we'll see.
I think
that's what I was thinking about lap. I thought that's at lap 10.
Yeah, Miguel took half a second out of him that one last lap. So at the same rate, he's got 6 laps till he's on him. If he can manage to keep that pace up, and with Miguel, you can believe he actually would.
Yes, but of course, Jamie will be more aware that he's being chased now. That he's got Miguel behind him, and he will be. Well, that can have 2 effects, can't it? It can either make him. It will make him focused and try harder, but that can actually make you a bit sloppy sometimes and cause you to actually get that occasional wheel on the grass, just push you just so you're just slightly over the edge, and it can work both ways, pressure.
Yeah.
So we shall see, but James, very experienced driver, and we'll expect him in the normal run to cope with it, but he knows that Miguel has got the time to catch him, so it's all about being consistent, not overdriving the car, eking it out as long as possible. Because even when they're close, we've seen the way with Andy defending, that if somebody can hold the line and somebody with substantial pace like Jamie, then it's not going to be that easy for even Miguel to get by them.
No, it's not.
You know, if it's down to a denouement and 2 laps to go, you know, somebody like Jamie is going to be able to defend. So let's see what happens, and hope that Jamie just keeps his pace, keeps it together. I keep getting little screen freezes. Are you seeing that?
No, I think it's your connection, because you keep drifting out on the Vox every so often and just for a tiny little bit. We'll see what happens with that. Where are we in terms of this little battle? So at the minute, Sam Blaze is slowly moving. I was going to say moving away from David Johansson, but the last lap, David Johansson took 2/10 out of him. So that redressed a bit of what was going on there. Miguel continues to chip away at Jamie Jeffries' lead.
Fascinating. This is fascinating, Pete, isn't it? Goodness. We've got Miguel chasing Jamie for all he's worth. We've got
David chasing Sam.
JB's up to... Oh, it's just... Everybody's chasing somebody. Goodness me. And they're all within touching distance. It could easily go one way or the other. It's teeter. Goodness, it's exciting stuff.
It is. Wobbly's not rejoined the track, and I can't find his car, so I think he's out of the session.
Yeah, he's got out. Well, you called that. You know, I wasn't terribly hopeful to see more of Mr. Kneecaps, but you know, I'm a fan, so I always hope for the best.
Yeah. Carl Hardy in a mega amount of free space at the minute. He still owes his pit stop. He's got a whopping 10.5 seconds ahead of him before he finds Miguel, and he's got 7 seconds behind him to JB.
Well, he's looking like a very comfortable podium at the moment.
It depends where he comes out in terms of Sam and David Johansson, really. Mark Draper, we know, was somewhat delayed from his twitchy car on the first lap and finding the grass. And then we think he got stuck behind Andrew Littler and unable to overtake because Andrew positioned his car a bit too well.
Yeah, I suppose it's down to tenths in the time, isn't it, Pete? To be honest, we're talking about tenths. Goodness.
And I don't know.
They're all in the 144, so it's a variety of 144. Which variety are you going to do? And can you keep up that variety for 3 laps? Because that's going to amount to half a second.
Yeah, it is.
Goodness.
And I don't know what Miguel eats, but I need just one spoonful of it because he's the only one in the 43s at the minute. David Johansson's been in the 43s. And I'm just going to look at these times because... Yeah, he's just taken another half second out of that lead, down to 1.4 now.
Well, my prediction on lap 9 was that, to myself, was that he would catch him by 15. But at that time, he'd just taken very nearly a second out of him.
Yeah.
And the chase had just begun, and it's being a bit tighter, but he's very nearly reined him in. But that isn't the end of the story by any means.
No, definitely not. I'm just looking at these two again. So on that lap, David Johansson jumped on the seesaw and brought some of the time back by a 10th.
Yes, if Mr. Johansson could get on Mr. Bleezer's case and worry him, That'd be great for Carl.
Yeah, Jason Landry's just joined the chat. Says good evening to everybody watching and
Evening,
driving.
Jason.
Yeah, he's had to miss this one. Real life does get in the way, but he'll be there for the next one, and he's shouting for Miguel.
Yes, well, I think who wouldn't be?
I know, yeah.
He's a very, very convincing gentleman. He's charming and he's an incredible driver.
Yep,
so
he really
very
is.
hard,
Yeah.
very hard not to admire the man and wish him well in everything he does because I think he's great.
And David Ayres says he'll be right back. He's got to make Scary Mary a cup of tea for when she gets home.
Well, you know, you don't want to get on the wrong side of Scary Mary.
No, Jamie Jeffries just put in a 143.8, kind of not necessarily out of nowhere as such, but he's been 144s and over.
Yeah,
and
he's just responded, hasn't he?
He kind of has, yeah. It's under a second now. We're over halfway through the race. This battle's going to come to a boil very soon, and I think this one is as well because David Johansson got the bit between his teeth, taking a 10th out of Samblies again that lap. 1.5 seconds behind him now. Top four still to make a pit stop. That's JB in fourth at the minute. Carl Hardy in third in no man's land. There's nobody anywhere near him. 12 seconds is the gap ahead of him, and 9 seconds behind him. Miguel Freitas closing in reasonably rapidly now, I guess you could describe it. Half a second a lap still on Jamie Jeffrey. But catching him and passing him are two completely different things. We've seen how difficult it can be, and how dangerous it can be. So,
yes, I would be happier if we're seeing this happening at 37 minutes rather than 27. Because it's going to be hard for Jamie to withstand this chap for 13 minutes.
Yeah, Wobbly on a chat to me says his car was broken.
I would have bought him a new car.
You would have bought him a new car, right?
I would have bought him a new car to
It's
keep him
very
in
generous
race.
of you, very generous, yeah. Do you know what? Just looking at the Wobbly says.
Miguel's gone in the pitch, you know.
I know, yeah. Wobbly says he's going to miss next week, but he'll be back the week after, most likely. Carl Hardy, I thought might follow Miguel in, but he's gone again. Jamie Jeffrey is the example that we were looking for before. He is super rapid, and his I rating does not reflect his capability because he does only league racing. So he's less than 2K on I rating paper.
Yeah, it's exactly the first I was talking about.
Yeah, in reality, you'd put him at 4 minimum, wouldn't you?
At minimum, yeah. Yeah, he's a 4+ driver for
definitely.
sure.
Whoa, look at that.
Oh.
Miguel's come out behind JB. JB still owes us a pit stop. So that means that Miguel is currently the furthest forward of our pit stopped racers.
Now,
this is going to delay him.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think JB's in any obligation to pull aside, is he?
No,
so,
and he's not going to get a choice.
No. Well, you wouldn't think that. I don't know. You'd have to be Superman to resist Miguel.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm sure there are people out there that would give him a side-by-side race in these situations. I've seen it happen to other great drivers.
Yeah.
There's always somebody as quick as you are.
Jason Landry, we've seen him take it to Miguel.
Yeah. There's always somebody, but it's.
David Ayres has kind of asked a bit of a silly question. He said, what do you think of the chances that Carl is attempting to end without needing a pit stop? I don't think that carrying the extra weight of a Carl Hardy, I don't think you can feel safe enough.
Well, he can't do a 40-minute race without a pie.
No, it's not possible.
Oh. Well, perhaps David knows something we don't. Perhaps he's been, he's been stocking up on pies.
Might have been. You don't get many pies in the back of a Veloster, though, do you, really?
No.
But we'll see. Right, so where are we at the minute? And did Miguel do a splendid pit stop? Wasn't the fastest of everybody in the pits. I'm not going to talk about the pit stops until everybody's done their cycle. It wouldn't be fair to do that.
It's, yes, Mr. Hardy's hanging out here, isn't he?
Yeah.
The lap times is just so... Everybody's in the 44s at the moment. It's staggeringly close. From one end of the field to the Mark's in the 44s, Jamie at the front's in the 44s. You know, that's first and seventh, everybody's in the 44s.
Yeah.
Talk about close field, an awful lot of talent on show.
Oh, yeah, masses. Absolutely masses, as our race leader has just entered pit road, and I can't find my cursor, so I can't select him.
There he is.
Just getting into the pit box. Carl Hardy has
Now,
followed him in.
Carl will come in surely, yes.
Yep.
Expected that. Hopefully he will do a super pit stop.
There goes Miguel, who's overtaken Jamie Jeffrey in the pit.
Yeah.
While he's still in the pits. So that's worked out brilliantly for Miguel. Flashing lights for Jamie Jeffrey to say, well done, and how the hell did you do that?
Yes, that's just...
JB is now in the pits, so that's everybody served their pit stops.
I guess that 43.2 in purple tells you a bit of how he does these things.
Oh, yeah. Didn't spot that. That's just unreal, isn't it? Good God.
They're good. He picks his moments. Well, he's just such an experienced driver, isn't he?
Yeah.
And as an experienced racer, he can feel the ebb and flow of the race, and he's got pace to burn. But yes, so now it's on as even. Everybody's been in the pits.
They have, and I think there's still some positions to be fought for here.
Shaking out, yeah. Shaking out to do, so...
I mean, if Miguel keeps doing 143 point something, then there's only Sam Blees and David Janssen that can match that, according to the timing screens. Oh, no. Yeah, Jamie Jeffrey's done a 143.8. So
yeah, Jamie did one.
Yeah, he's the second fastest racer this evening in this race. Which is a surprise, because David Johansson and Sam Blees are usually vying for that kind of honour. Either that or Jason Landry. David
as well. Yeah.
David Ayres says he's hidden Carl's pies.
Yeah. Oh, Jamie pulled out that 43 because that was when Miguel was really closing up very quickly.
Yes.
And he just pulled out all the stops in the end, pulled out a fantastic lap.
Yeah, he's very much controlled this race very well. Trying to keep Miguel behind you for an entire race is, well, it's a massively tall order, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say it's just about physically impossible, frankly.
Yeah.
Because you know what he does? He's got this... It looks like everything's even and everybody's going round in the same second.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to making the overtake, there's something that Miguel can do. He makes his car spurt.
Yes.
It's the only way I can describe it. He can get his car to do a one car length spurt that seems to happen almost magically, and his car zooms out effortlessly and pops in front of the car that was previously in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like telepathy.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he does it. And you don't think... I don't know where he finds that bit of extra pace, but he seems to have it in a little box somewhere. He can just let this little spurt out and he just zoom and job done. And you think, well, he's going to take ages to get by. You know, it's going to be a great scrap. It's going to be lengthy because this car can defend and he's really quick and they've been doing exactly the same times. And then zoom.
Yeah.
Miguel's gone.
I know. I don't know how he manages to do it because
No.
when it's braking zones as well, you think, oh right, there's another 2 laps in this before they get together, and then bang, he's like right on him. You're like, how the hell has he done that? Mark Draper is closing in on the back of JB. JB pretty much fresh out of the pits last lap.
Well, Mark's car is well worn up now, presumably, so
You would think
let
so,
them to
yeah.
close a little bit. But I don't think there's JB's driving really well, so I don't think it's a walkover. But,
Now,
well held,
did-
that man.
That's what caused him to be delayed on the first lap, if you remember, or second lap, whichever lap it was. It was early on.
It's a tricky corner, Pete.
Yeah, back end swapping on him. So is that a setup issue or a driver issue?
He's probably just trying to take it just slightly too quick.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with that.
It's just the back end can follow you around and switch up on you in these cars very easily. Because everything's pivoting on the front, all the way it's in the front, the back end wants to swing on the pivot.
The
I know that because mine does it, like a yo-yo.
The Elantras seem to be struggling through that tight chicane section towards the end of this the lap here.
Yeah, we can't have it all, Rose, can you? I mean, they
No.
did very well where we had the long straights at Spa and everything.
Yes, absolutely right. Yep, that was the track for them. This is definitely the Honda track.
And you'd expect that because we've seen the Hondas and the Velocitas generally do well on the twisty bits. And this is definitely a lovely flowing, twisty, open park type of circuit, really.
Yes.
It's got a lot of flow to it.
Yeah, good description actually. A lot of undulation to, turns where they're on the crest of a hill like this one here. They're hard to navigate. You know, they're technically challenging, and there's quite a few on this track. Same at Alton Park.
Yes, and they're the spots that make where class tells, you know, Pete. They're the spots where I have to ease off that little bit more because I'm not sure about getting around the corner, and the people who are just that little bit better don't have to ease off that little bit more. They're a bit more secure in their steering and their technique, and they can get around and carry that extra bit of pace with them. And it's just down to that bit of extra skill, that bit of extra technique, but it counts on these corners.
It does. I'm just trying to see where Miguel is at the minute, so I think we're going to have just one more lap after this one. Yeah. I think...
Goodness, have we got to get... Oh, no!
This is going to be borderline, you know. He needs to get over the line in the next, couple of seconds. Yeah, well, there's the white flag.
Well, he's comfortable. Look at that. I mean...
That must have been very
Look at that
borderline
lap.
for an extra lap.
Look at that lap!
Oh my God, he was trying as well. I think he was trying to get the extra lap out of this because it was right on the bubble. If a lap is 1:43, he got over in about 1 minute 40 to go. So I think there was only a few seconds in it.
Fantastic driving.
Just
Yeah,
stunning.
again.
Just stunning.
Fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hats off, but, you know, it takes the whole field to make an evening like this, and everybody's raced their hearts out. It's been great. It's been really entertaining 2 races yet again, Pete.
Yeah, the
We're
start.
well served, aren't we?
Oh yeah, the start of the second race. Just
It was magic, wasn't it?
yeah.
Riveting, on the edge of your seat stuff from the get-go.
Yeah. Whereas Andrew is still going. He's
No
gonna
quitter, our Andy.
No, he's going to finish on lead lap. As Miguel.
That's so admirable.
I
Do you
know.
know, when you think about the kind of quality you're racing against, the class of these people, and to finish on the lead lap, that's magic after 40 minutes of racing.
Yeah,
Well
should
done, Andy.
be proud of that.
Yeah, I'm proud of him.
And
Yeah, I'm proud of them all, actually. They've all raced their hearts out for us, haven't they, Ken?
they
Fantastic.
And here comes Miguel to celebrate and do a flashy lighty over the line, taking his second victory tonight.
Congratulations, Miguel.
And I'll tell you what.
Here comes Jamie.
Yeah.
But
These three, nothing to separate them too much, you know. A second between each of them.
fantastic. Sam got he had to work, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Goodness me.
And we don't often say that about assemblies. I can't believe Jamie Jeffrey in his finishing position. It's
Brilliant stuff.
Just genius stuff.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's outstanding by Jamie. Isn't that the best we've seen, really? I mean,
Yeah.
2 second places to Miguel.
I think so, yeah.
Just, I mean, goodness, that's fantastic. Whatever, just fantastic driving by everybody tonight. Actually, I think they've all driven really well.
Yeah, and we've seen this in other leagues. Some leagues can be quite boring with a reduced field, but these ones just seem to keep the excitement going, if nothing else.
Well, they enjoy it. You know, there was plenty of racing out there for the people in the race.
Yes.
They don't care how many people are on the track. As long as you've got somewhere to race, when you're out there, you're in your car, you're enjoying yourself, you're having fun. And as long as you've got somewhere to race, then, you know, job's a good one. And my word, everybody has something to race.
Yep.
Everybody had, Andy had plenty of racing tonight.
He really did.
Plenty.
Yeah.
You know, and everyone else had plenty of racing. And yeah, they turned it on for us yet again.
Yeah, and Jason Landry on the chat again says, super race from Jamie Jeffrey to beat Sam and David is amazing. I can only second that. A great shout out from Jason Landry there, actually. Our Impulse Racing driver who couldn't be with us tonight, sadly, but he will be back next time. Right then.
Yeah. Well, we are graced with the Impulse
Yes.
racing team in this league. It's great to have them, and they're a shining light in sim racing. And yeah,
Yep,
kudos
they certainly
and
are.
affection and respect, all of that.
So, rounding up this race week, Miguel Freitas gets his second victory of the night for Impulse Racing. Second, a brilliant drive from Jamie Jeffrey for Coupes and Convertibles Racing. Sam Blees rounded out the podium in third for Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. David Johansson finished fourth for Sim Racing Grid. Carl Hardy in fifth for Safeguard by Result. Sixth was JB Dejoux for BSTV Esports Blue. Mark Draper finished seventh for SRL. Andrew Littler finished eighth for Spyro by Result. And Wobbly didn't finish for Impulse in ninth place. That was yet again brilliant. And we seem to say it every week. This league really does lend itself to exciting racing, regardless of the grid size. This season, as we mentioned before, not set up brilliantly because of what happened to Bill, who passed away earlier in last month. Oh, sorry, before the season started. So there wasn't much time to get stuff sorted. Yeah, next race season I'm going to start compiling that this weekend. It'll probably be ready for the next weekend. So yeah, it's going to be.
Well, you've got a lot on, Pete. You know, you've got a lot
before.
on, haven't you, mate? You know, you're busy, man, and everybody appreciates how much work that you put in and the time and effort it takes.
Thanks, Alan, and I appreciate the time you spend in the booth with me, because when we get racing like this, you can't help but just enjoy every minute of it. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
I wouldn't be anywhere else. This is the best seat in the house, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Right then, we've got.
And I got to drink whiskey while I'm doing it.
And you know, who can argue with that? A good bit of whiskey,
Exactly.
As we see 4 wide at the start of the second race there. But into the booth to celebrate a double victory.
Look at that! Oh my goodness!
It was crackers. I don't know how much Miguel knew of what was going on in front of him, but he's in the booth to tell us. Miguel Freitas, double victory tonight. Congratulations.
Hello. Thank you.
Hello.
We've said a couple of times tonight that whilst we've got this particular season of a reduced grid, and we're expecting a much bigger grid next season, and we had a way bigger grid the previous season, it's damn exciting. You know, your eyes must have been on stalks for the whole of that second race. You know, trying to get past Andrew for a start. He made his car pretty wide for you. You got there in the end, obviously, nice and safe. And then kind of tactically made your way to the front and got yourself a victory. But race one was a flag-to-flag victory, and did it in style.
Yeah, I was very surprised with the pace of the Honda this week. To be completely honest, we did all the work on the car, and I just turned up and raced today with pretty much no practice. And I was right away on pace, so the setup was really on point. And yeah, the pace difference to the other cars was crazy, so it made our life a little bit easier.
Yeah, Wobbly did tip me off before the race started that the Honda was ultra rapid. And at one point he had over a second faster lap than everybody around him. It just makes your victories even more impressive when you tell us that you did an arrive and drive on a pre-made setup by other people. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about race 2, because that's the one that had us on the edges of our proverbial seats. That was absolutely edge of your seat stuff. Andrew Littler gave you a pretty good fight for quite a long time. Obviously, the pace difference between you two on an open lap is significant, but Zandvoort, not the easiest place to get past, is it?
No, not really. I was really struggling to get past him at the start there.
Well, we enjoyed it, Miguel. It was great, you know. He gave lots of respect, and Andy was on his edge, you know, probably enjoying the battle of his life racing you like that, so close. Yep. You know, it would have been a real thrill for him. And yeah, respect to you, because you gave him plenty of respect. And yeah, we enjoyed that. We enjoyed that battle. Yeah, it was great to see.
Yeah, it was really fun for me as well. Most of the times on race 2, there is not many battles because of the strategy with the pits. Mm-hmm. But yeah, there at the start I couldn't pit right away. I had to wait. I knew I had the pace advantage, but I couldn't make it work. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was just trying every other turn going to the outside and just not having enough grip.
Yeah. Some of these turns are just so sharp, aren't they? And the Elantra does have some advantages, but it didn't show here. That top speed that it can evidence wasn't required at this track, really. And the nimbleness of the Honda and its ability to get out of corners quickly, that really did pay well for you. But, you know, you're only as good as the driver behind the wheel, and you are some kind of driver. Next time we're going to Kota. Yeah, this is not Sam Please's track choice, which is what it was the last time. This one is part of the official schedule. It's the full track, I think, as well. That can be a bit of a snooze-a-thon in the best leagues. So let's hope that these guys can turn it up again next time. How do you go at Kota? Have you raced it much, Miguel?
Yeah, I've raced it quite a bit, but I'm expecting it to be a really hard track for the Hondas because there are quite a few tight turns, and the Honda is very bad getting up to speed again with those huge straights. So I'm expecting if I have a Hyundai in front of me, I won't be able to overtake on the straights, so it will have to be done on the brakes, hopefully. So let's see how it goes.
Well, we'll look forward to that, won't we? Goodness me, yeah, because there's some really tasty, sharp turns there, isn't there? And that's going to be a braking fest. Yeah. Well, that's going to be something to look forward to.
And because Miguel's so rubbish on the brakes, of course. Not.
Yes, terrible on brakes.
There was one overtake you did tonight, and I was like, I don't know how he's managed to stop the car because you were so much later than the other car. It was unreal. I can only assume that they were possibly a bit early on the brakes, and you were definitely very late on the brakes. But
Well, the thing is, he hasn't put them on yet.
well, this is true.
Yeah.
They're on it. There's no brakes.
He puts them on in
Miguel's
December.
But no, fantastic racing again. Anybody you want to have a shout out to? One of your biggest fans on the chat tonight was Jason Landry, funnily enough.
Yeah, he was missed today. But yeah, shout out to him and especially for Weeb because this setup was just amazing. Yeah, it was really nice to be able to arrive home, turn on the PC and be able to race the car right away. So yeah, that's really nice.
Absolutely fantastic and always a pleasure watching you race, and a double victory for you tonight. Miguel Freitas, everybody.
Thank you, bye.
Congratulations, Miguel.
Thank you.
Cool. Right, and second...
Sam. How's Sam?
Sam, yeah. Good evening to Sam Blees, multiple previous champion, and trying to take it to the best of them on a track car combination. Not in your favour, I don't think, tonight, Sam.
Oh, I certainly hope not. Either that or I forgot how to drive.
On the early laps, especially in race 1, it was more evident. The car kind of snapping on you at certain points on the track, making it a little bit of a handful on certain corners.
Yeah, it just took forever to warm up. So, like the Honda guys had 1 or 2 tricky laps, and then from lap 3 it was pretty good. I was finding it was about lap 6 or 7 that I was actually feeling like I had some grip. So I was able to do like okay lap times before that, but it was very loose in the first few, and it was just it wasn't. I don't know. The setup I shared felt reasonable. It felt quite smooth and quite calm, but I just couldn't force the pace out of it until right at the end of the feature race. I think if it was a 2-hour race, the balance might have come back.
Yeah.
But yeah. It just there was nothing until I mean it took me till the last lap of the feature race to get within half a second of Miguel's laps.
But you know, you've got it home in third place in the second race, in the feature race, and you were, I think, fourth. Yeah, fourth.
Fourth, yeah. I tangled with Jamie.
Yeah, but in a fashion of sportsmanship that we've come to expect from this league, you waited basically for the entire field to pass you, and redress the position. But yeah, I mean, you know, these things happen. You and Jamie are super fast racers, as Jamie's evidenced in the second race. It's great to see. The sportsmanship is a key part of racing, and you kept that alive tonight. So from me personally, thank you for that sportsmanship, because to everybody else that races in these leagues, they look to the fast racers like yourself, you know, multiple champion, to you know, represent that and present well in terms of sportsmanship. So thank you.
No trouble at all. You know, it's what I'd want done for me, and it's what I'm happy to do for others. So it was an ambitious move that I didn't quite get right. I nudged him. He lost some time, so it was only fair that I waited, and I nearly had to run into turn 1 as well, so I had to lift again. It's like, it's not fair that I let you past it and immediately dive up the inside of the next corner.
Oh dear, funny stuff.
But yeah, it was good fun. It made the rest of the race fun as well, because I did manage to get past Jamie in the end, but then I had to chase down Carl and Mark and JB, and they were all having a fight, so it was good to get a feel for sort of what you could and couldn't do, where you could and couldn't pass, and yeah, you know, it's no hardship. It was my mistake, so it's only fair to give it back.
Yeah,
it sets the standard though of behaviour and courtesy on the track, Sam, that, you know, you shouldn't underestimate that. It sets a fine example to everybody, and I'd love to see that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and it wasn't your best night tonight, mate, but you were still out there giving it your all. You know, good on you.
It was good fun racing. The just pace wasn't there tonight. I don't, you know, there might have been something in setup that would have helped, and I mean, certainly Jamie's car was, I think, faster than me for the first half of the feature race. He was pulling away. I couldn't do anything about it. At the end, after the pit stops, I was a little bit quicker. So whatever he'd done maybe was working better for him, but yeah, I just couldn't. I couldn't get it working. I couldn't get it switched on in the second race at all.
I think Jamie was having an exceptionally good night there, Sam. Jamie was very good tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was fun. He did
I
this
don't think
once
that's
before.
all down to his setup, but yeah, really great drive tonight he's done. So
He did
I don't
this
think you
once
should feel bad
Brands
about it.
No, I mean, hats off to him. He's a cracking driver. And he did it to us before at Brands Hatch. Just one week he turned up, and he was just battling at the front. I think it was me, Wobbly, and Spencer, and he was there fighting for podiums all evening. And it's just like I don't know what it is, whether it's the track that clicks with him or whether he finds a setup or something. But he has the pace. He's got the talent. He's a cracking driver. So it's good to see him showing that again and back at the front.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see more of it.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. And in a cruel twist of irony, next time out, we're a track that we know you love because you voted for it once as as the champion's choice, Kota.
Yes, yeah, it's the full track this time, which I think could probably be.
Yeah.
I was given. Can I claim I was given some dodgy advice when I picked that? No, fair enough. I mean, I don't dislike Kota, and I think I prefer the full track to the short one we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did East, didn't we? I think to remember we did East.
Yeah, the one with the little Mickey Mouse chicane and lots of X's.
Yeah.
No, I prefer the full track, but even so, it's a big track and
it is long lap in these.
Yeah. Very. Yeah.
2 minutes 30, 2 minutes 40, I think probably.
I think if it's anything like tonight's race, as a spectator, it's going to be brilliant because tonight was just full on right from the start. And these small grids that we've got this season, showing that you don't need a massive grid to get exciting racing when you've got talent on the screen.
You need 2 cars to have a good battle.
Yep.
And it's a smaller grid, which is a shame, but we've got a lot of people in the same bracket, so there are battles up and down the field, and you see people moving between the brackets. Like today, normally Jamie would often have been in the group with like Carl and JB and Mark, and this week he's made that jump up to us, and different people will move forward and move back, and sometimes I'm closer to that group, sometimes I'm closer to like Miguel and Jason and Wobbly when he shows up and things like that as well. So yeah, we've got a nice balance of people, even if the grids aren't quite as big as we'd like, and I think it probably means that you're getting a slightly more pure race. There's a bit less chaos, so it is down to not just pace, but racecraft as well. Who can outdrive the person rather than who can get a bit lucky with traffic or who can avoid the incident the best, which is also fun. But it's a different skill and it's a different thing you're showing.
It is.
Definitely. So I don't dislike it, and I've had some of the best racing in these small grids, so it's no issue.
I think you're right, Sam. We've the lack of mayhem has been a bit noticeable, but we've mentioned that we're getting a very concentrated form of racing now. With this small grid, and we've got. I mean, there was a time in that race when the whole field was in the same second. Everybody was doing 1 minute 44s. The whole bloody field.
Yeah, no, I can absolutely believe it. Yeah, it's. Like I said, the quality of the racing hasn't diminished at all from last season when we had 18, 20 cars on a grid most of the time. And in some ways, that lack of chaos has made it a bit more about who can drive the better race. It's taken some of the luck out of it, which I think is nice.
Well, it's certainly given us a lot of really entertaining races. We've had week after week where we've been. It's just been fantastic racing,
We've not had a dull one, have we?
Nothing close.
No.
Nothing close.
That's the kiss of death next week. He'll be finishing in grid order, and no.
Well, before we get to next week, we've got V8s. Are you racing at the weekend?
Saturday.
Yeah.
Maybe. What track is it?
Oh dear. Which track do you think it is? It's Long Beach.
Oh my God!
Long
I've
Beach
just
and
remembered.
V8s.
I've just remembered. I've never been busier than I am this Saturday.
Yeah, he's washing his
If there's
hair.
two things I'm not good at, it's street circuits and rear-wheel drive. And you're combining the hardest street circuit with the hardest rear-wheel drive car,
Yeah,
and I think I'm probably busy that day.
fair enough. I don't entirely blame you, but I thought it was a giggle to ask you live on air. Where will that put you now in the league? Let me have a quick.
I think I will be third.
I think you'll be third as well. Here we go. Yeah, because you've probably balanced off with David Johansson, haven't you? I think it'll be a stalemate situation.
I'm
for the
1
top
point
three.
behind David.
Yeah.
And 97 behind Miguel.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty good lead now.
It's pretty tasty. Yeah. It'll take some incident, I would think, to reduce the gap. He's just so bloody rapid, isn't he?
Yeah. He doesn't make mistakes. He's too consistent.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, this is before drop weeks, so when the drop weeks come in, that will close it a little bit because I think I've had a worse round than he has.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And I'm hoping, like I did outscore him last week, only by about 2, but I did slightly.
Yeah. Take it where you
I
can
was
get
having
it. Yeah.
Take it,
Yeah,
Sam,
I'll take wherever I can get.
Yeah.
I had a bit of a chat with him before the interviews, and I think we think Kota might favour the Hyundais a little bit more than this does, because the Honda really struggles out of the slow speed corners and on the longer straights, particularly that are uphill. And you've got a bit of that at Kota. You've got the hairpin, then a really long straight. Then you've got a couple of like quite tight corners and reasonably long straights to follow them. So there may be a top speed advantage for the Hyundais, and the medium sort of third, fourth gear stuff that the Hondas really like. There's a bit less of it. So we'll see. I need to start outscoring him if I'm gonna get that extra championship. I'm not sure which one it would be. Third, maybe fourth. Not sure.
Fourth, I think it'll be, won't it?
So,
think so.
Yeah, third or fourth. I've definitely got 2. I might have 3. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've got a spreadsheet somewhere around here that says it. But yeah.
Nice. So yeah, I need to start outscoring him, but I think hopefully when the drop weeks come in, it will look a little bit better. But it's not, it's not out of sight. 100 points is not. Oh, it's not quite 100, and 100 points is not that much in a league that does the points the way we do. So yeah, I think it's still on. I'm not giving up hope.
No, and there's no reason why you should, because it's enjoyable, great racing, and competitive, it still is. And you're all so close. I mean, I know Miguel's got the edge at the moment, but even when he's winning, you can't amass huge points differences because you're all so very good.
Yeah, it's just he's just so consistent. That's it. Even when he's not winning, he'll be second. And when I'm not winning, I'm off at 5th or something. And I think that's been the difference so far. Like,
it's a tiny difference, Sam, isn't it? But but there's plenty of open. Oh, let's face it. Crikey, who do you want to be racing?
Well, yeah, no, absolutely, and he's a good guy and he's a cracking driver. So it'd be boring if there wasn't the competition. And
no, we're loving it.
He's providing that, and Wobbly coming back for a few rounds, so that'd be good.
Yeah, really great.
Yeah,
Jason
absolutely.
back next week as well.
Yeah, let's look forward to that then. Anybody you want to have a shout out to before we let you go and not practice for the weekend, but practice for next week's TCR race?
I just want to say, well done again to Jamie. Apologies for the instant in lap 1, but at least it gave him the nice reverse grid position, so that's all good. Well done to Miguel as always, and cheers to Wobbly. I know you may not want to hear it, but cheers to Wobbly for coming back, because it's always good to have him around. And as much as we don't like to admit it, he is also a very quick driver, isn't he?
He can be.
He has his moments.
That's as far as I'm going to go. He can be.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
In that case, we will look forward to watching you next time out. Our multiple previous champion, Sam Bleeds, everybody.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Good night, Sam.
Cheers. Night.
Cracking stuff, right?
Yes, indeed.
Oh dear, I'm not looking forward to this because this is driver of the meeting time.
I think there's two clear. Well, to me, I've got two easy choices, so it's two
I've got
clear.
more
That I'm
than
going to see.
two. I've got more than two.
Yes, I've got two easy ones. I'm going for the soft options tonight. You can do the odd ones. Let's see. Come on then.
So, obviously, Jamie Jeffrey has put himself into a prime spot for one of the most coveted trophies in the whole of motor racing, because of that mega performance in both races. To be fair, it's just he got Sam Bleased in the first one. Sam Blease, who's done a great job of taming a car that was clearly fighting back. I think he's done rather well there to get a fourth and a third. Andrew Littler, he's done a good job tonight. He showed himself to have good pace, finished on lead lap, gave Miguel a really good fight, gave a few others something to think about. Obviously, there's going to be a financial exchange for taking out Wobbly. But so I can see there being quite a few people in the mix for this one.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to think who. Wobbly first race back gets a second place. If you got a first, then maybe. Just trying to make it a bit more controversial than it needs to be there.
JB's up in the grid. He's doing week after week. He's doing great as well. There isn't anybody who hasn't performed. Mark's been great. You know, everybody's performed.
Yeah, JB's position in the first race was good as well, wasn't it? He's got two sixth places? Yeah, 2 6th places. It's a good result, that. I think mine's going to have to go Jamie Jeffrey's way, because that second race was just an absolute... it's as close to perfection as you're going to get and not win, isn't it? And you've not won because, well, Miguel is just mega rapid. So, yeah, my vote for tonight is... Oh, I could have given it Sam Blease as well because of that sportsmanship in that
Don't worry
first
about
race. So, yeah, Jamie Jeffrey for me. What a great race he's had tonight.
Yes. Yeah, it would have been my first choice as well. And I'm just saying with you, to me, it's a toss-up between Sam and Andy. Andy will get one off me at any time. I'm going to give it to Sam because he wins races and he doesn't get the chance because he wins races. He loses the chance to win this little bit of a little tip of the hat to him. So I want Sam to have it, and he did great. And yeah, that car was a real handful. And he gave us plenty of entertainment really around the track. Yeah. And yeah, the height of courtesy he behaves on track like a champion.
Yes.
And
a role model, a good role model. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think he deserves it for his courtesy on the track, but his spirit as a racer as well. And yeah. Andy will get one from me another night, that's for sure. Because the way he's driving, he's given me plenty of opportunities. And it's far and away the best driving I've ever seen Andy Littler do in any of the leagues I'm racing him with. And it's just bringing me an awful lot of joy at the moment.
Good stuff. No, that's great to hear. A couple of messages that we missed while the interviews were going on. Jason Landry says Miguel can celebrate with some pasta de nata, which are those wonderful, super sweet custard tarts with the flaky pastry underneath them.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, I could eat my own body weight in those easily. And David says that Miguel's going to get an invoice for the paintwork repairs on the back of Andrew Littler's car, because he did kind of rub most of the paint off it in his attempt to get round, but he did it nice and clean and safe in the end, David, so you'll have to take that one back. But yeah, we look forward now to the weekend because we are in V8 action from Long Beach. That'll be a race without any incidents, won't it? V8's at Long Beach. I think that's going to be eyes on stalks the entire time. It's going to be great.
That's one for the masochists, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And as we've already said, this series comes to COTA next time, full track a completely different balance for the cars. We think that the Honda might not fare so easily, in inverted commas, at that track, so it'll be a different race. And we're looking forward to it. I'd like to thank everybody that watched, and very much those that participated, and even more so having Alan in the booth with me, which is always an utter pleasure. Stay safe, everybody, because that thing called COVID is knocking about yet again. So stay away from people, because humans are diseased. And I'll look forward to entertaining you this time next week if you can't make it for the weekend. Thank you very much, and I'll hand you over to Alan. Good night, everyone.
Good night, folks. We've had a spectacularly great night, haven't we? And as usual, the guys have really turned it on and given us a thrill fest. And we'll see how we get on at COTA next week. Good night, everybody. Good night, Pete.